Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English Alongway, where you grow in life and grow in English. I'm Elena.
And I'm Marcus. Happy to be here again.
Let me ask you something. When someone asks you, how are you? What do you say?
Busy. Honestly, I say busy almost every single time.
Right. And think about that for a second. Almost everyone gives that same answer. We are all busy. But here's the strange thing. So many people who are busy are not happy. So what is happening?
That is a good question. We fill every hour. We have schedules, notifications, meetings, deadlines, plans, and still something feels empty.
Exactly. We run all day, we fall into bed at night, and somewhere in that silence before sleep, a quiet thought appears. Is this really the life I wanted?
That thought is uncomfortable.
It is, and I think a lot of us push it away by staying busy.
That is interesting. So busyness itself becomes the escape.
Yes, that is exactly what I want to talk about today. Why do we feel busy, but still not happy? I think modern life is designed to keep us in motion. Our phones, our jobs, social media, everything pulls at our attention constantly. And the system rewards busyness. If you're productive, you get results. If you rest, you fall behind. So we keep moving.
I agree with that, but I want to push back a little.
Go ahead.
Well, I think some people don't just fall into busyness, they choose it. Not because they have to, but because being busy feels important. It feels like you're doing something real with your life.
That's an interesting point. Say more.
Well, think about how we talk about busyness. When you say you're busy, people respond with respect. Nobody says, "Oh, that sounds terrible." They say, "Wow, you must have a lot going on. You must be needed. You must matter."
That's so true. Busyness has become a kind of status symbol.
Exactly. And once it becomes a symbol of importance, people start protecting it, even creating it, adding things to their schedule not because they need to, but because an empty calendar feels embarrassing.
So you're saying some busyness is performed?
Yes, some of it, yes. Not all, but some.
I think that's honest and a little uncomfortable to hear.
Yeah, including for me.
But let's be fair, there are real pressures too. Many people are genuinely overloaded. They work long hours, they come home and take care of children, they manage the house, the finances, the relationships. They have real responsibilities that don't pause.
Absolutely. I'm not saying all busyness is a choice. For a lot of people, it's survival.
Right. A single parent working 2 jobs is not performing busyness. That's real life.
True, but even in those situations, sometimes we add extra weight. We say yes when we could say no. We check our phones late at night when we could sleep. We take on one more task when we're already full.
Why do we do that?
I think because stopping feels wrong, like you should always be doing something. If you're resting, something in your brain says, you're wasting time, you're falling behind, someone else is working right now.
That inner voice is exhausting.
It really is.
And I think that voice is not natural. I think it's something modern culture puts inside us, this idea that your worth is connected to your output.
Your worth equals your productivity.
Yes, and when you believe that, rest feels like failure, stillness feels like weakness, so you stay busy just to feel okay about yourself.
That's a heavy thought.
It is, but I think many people live inside it without even knowing.
I'll share something personal. A few months ago, I had a completely free afternoon. No work, no plans, no one needing anything from me. Just free time.
That sounds nice.
You would think so, but my first feeling was anxiety, genuine anxiety. I kept thinking I should be doing something. I almost started creating tasks for myself, making a list, finding a problem to solve.
Wait, seriously?
Yes, I almost invented work just to feel productive. And then I caught myself, and I thought, this is strange. Why can't I just be still?
That moment of catching yourself is actually really important.
It was. It made me realize how uncomfortable I am with emptiness.
I had a similar experience last year. I was on vacation. A real vacation by the ocean. Beautiful place. No deadlines, nothing urgent. And for the first 3 days, I felt guilty.
Guilty for being on vacation?
Yes, every time I sat quietly, I thought about all the things I wasn't doing. Emails I hadn't answered, projects I had paused. I couldn't fully enjoy the rest because my mind kept telling me I was being irresponsible.
That is so relatable and so sad, honestly.
It is, and it took me a few days to finally let go, to sit by the water and just exist without producing anything, without achieving anything.
And how did that feel?
It felt like breathing for the first time in months.
Wow.
Which tells you how little we actually breathe in normal life.
So, let's think about this from a different angle. We've been talking about busyness as a problem, but is busyness always bad?
I don't think so. There's a kind of busyness that feels alive. When you're working on something you care deeply about, you can be very busy and still feel full, still feel happy.
Right. An artist working on a painting they love, a parent playing with their child, a person building something meaningful. That busyness feels different.
Completely different. So maybe the real question is not how busy are you, but busy with what?
Busy with what? That's the key.
Because I think the unhappiness comes when we're busy but disconnected. We work hard for goals we never chose. We say yes to people we're trying to impress. We fill our time with noise to avoid the silence. And in that silence, the real questions live.
What kind of questions?
Questions like, is this the life I actually want? Am I moving towards something that matters to me? Or am I just moving because moving feels safer than stopping?
That last one, that one hit me.
Me too, honestly.
Because I think a lot of us are moving not towards something, but away from something.
Away from discomfort. Away from uncertainty. From the harder questions about meaning.
And busyness is the perfect vehicle for that escape. Nobody questions a busy person. Nobody says, slow down and think about your life. We say, keep going, work harder, do more.
Culture rewards the doing, not the thinking.
Not the being.
Exactly.
Here is something that I find interesting. Studies on happiness show that the things people say will make them happy often don't. More money after a certain point, a bigger house, a better job title. People get those things and feel good for a short time and then return to the same level of happiness as before.
Because we adapt quickly.
Yes, the human brain adapts. The new car becomes normal. The promotion becomes the baseline. And then we want the next thing. So we stay in motion, chasing the next level, and never arrive at the happiness we expected.
It's like running on a treadmill. You move, you sweat, you feel like you're going somewhere, but you're in the same place.
That's a perfect image.
And I think busyness can be the treadmill. We feel like we're making progress because we're tired, because we're working. But progress toward what?
That's the question we forget to ask.
Because asking it requires stillness, and stillness is uncomfortable.
So we stay busy instead, and the cycle continues.
So what do? We don't want to tell you to quit everything and go live in the mountains.
Although, that does sound peaceful.
It really does. But practically speaking, I think the first step is just awareness. Notice your busyness. Look at it honestly. Ask yourself, is this truly necessary, or did I add this?
And that question alone can be surprising. Because when you look carefully, a lot of what fills our days is optional.
The second step, I think, is protecting some stillness. Not a lot. Even 10 or 15 minutes a day with no phone, no input, no task. Just you and your thoughts.
That sounds simple, but it's genuinely hard for most people.
It's hard because we're not practiced. We've trained our minds to always need stimulation. Silence feels strange, but like any skill, the more you practice it, the more comfortable it becomes.
And in that stillness, maybe the real things surface, what you actually want, what actually matters, what you've been avoiding.
Yes, the noise of busyness drowns those things out, but they're always there, waiting. We want to leave you with a few questions, not to answer right now, just to carry with you.
First question. When you look at your week honestly, how much of your busyness is truly necessary, and how much did you create yourself?
Sit with that one.
Second question. Is there something you've been avoiding by staying busy? A decision? A conversation? A question about your own life that you're not ready to face?
And the third question, if you had a completely free afternoon tomorrow, no work, no phone, no responsibilities, how would you honestly feel? Peaceful or restless?
That last question is very revealing because most people, if they're honest, feel restless, and that restlessness is worth paying attention to.
It tells you something about how comfortable you are with yourself, with your own company, with your own mind.
And building that comfort might be the most important work we do.
A busy life and a meaningful life are not the same thing. We can be very busy and feel completely empty, and we can have a simpler, quieter life and feel deeply satisfied.
The difference is not the amount of activity, it's the connection between what we do and what we truly value.
So, the invitation today is not to do less, it's to do more consciously, to pause sometimes and ask, why am I doing this? Is this taking me somewhere I actually want to go?
And to be honest with the answer, even when it's uncomfortable.
Especially when it's uncomfortable.
Because the discomfort is usually pointing at something true.
And truth, even when it's hard, is always a better place to start than noise.
If this conversation made you think, that's already something.
Keep listening, keep growing. We'll see you in the next episode.